Understanding the Internet. Learning objectives. Trace a brief history of the Internet. Be familiar with the Internet browser. Be familiar with search engines. Appreciate the history of Internet. Use search engines. Why is it important to have Internet?
It's hard to imagine how people got through everyday life without the internet. But it wasn't too long ago that the World Wide Web was just a pipe dream. So who gets credit for actually inventing the internet? Let's find out on today's episode of
Awesome Question.
As you probably know, the internet isn't one big company, building, or server somewhere powering everything online. It's a great series of interconnected systems and fail-safes that all work together to keep it humming along. So it might not be a surprise to learn that no one person invented the internet alone. In order to understand the early origins of the internet, you have to go back to well before computers were even invented. You see, there were some scientists who predicted that we would one day have a network of info that could be accessed instantly worldwide. A famous scientist by the name of Nikola Tesla proposed a world wireless system in the early 1900s that he claimed could transmit energy all across the globe. He even built a wireless station that was designed to send messages from the US to England and to ships at sea in between. But it wasn't until the late 1960s that the actual internet started to take shape. The very first prototype of the modern internet was actually created by the military. You see, a military government agency originally called the Advanced Research Projects Agency, or ARPA, needed a way for all of their separate computers to communicate in one place, and the building blocks of the internet were invented. In the early 1990s, a scientist took the internet to the next level by creating something called the World Wide Web. This gave regular people like you and me a way to connect to the internet by inventing internet basics like web pages, hyperlinks, and internet browsers. This cosmetic change unlocked the internet to the public, who could now surf the web for the very first time, and we've never looked back since.
Why do we need to learn about the history of the Internet? Brief history of the Internet. The Internet is probably the most important development of all time. How did the Internet start? The roots of the Internet can be traced back to a military project. The Advanced Research Project Agency, or ARPA, was an agency for missile research. What does ARPA mean? When National Aeronautics and Space Administration was founded in 1958, one of ARPA's main goals was to gather information from universities all over the United States, with as little time possible spent, and under the same language and protocol. The first computer was created in 1969. What does NASA mean? When was the first computer created? In 1972, the first email program was developed by Ray Tomlinson. A few months later, the Network Control Protocol was introduced for computers to communicate with each other. ARPA changed its name to Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. What does DARPA mean? What does NCP mean? In 1981, the National Science Foundation released a program called Computer Science Network 56 that allowed computers to network without government interference. After 2 years, the Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol, became the standard for Internet Protocol. What does CSNet mean? What does TCP/IP mean? In 1991, Archie, the first search engine, was created. The US government gave the green light for commercial activities to take place over the internet. In the same year, the World Wide Web was released. What does www mean? In 1996, Nokia released the first cell phone with access to internet. In 1999, wireless fidelity or Wi-Fi was standardized. What does Wi-Fi mean? In 2001, BlackBerry released the first internet cell phone in the world. In the same year, peer-to-peer file sharing burst with people all over the world downloading music, movies, and other files. In 2002, universities and corporations around the world have internet access. In 2005, YouTube was launched. In 2008, Google's index reached 1 trillion links. In 2010, Facebook announced that it has 4 million active users. Internet browser. A browser or web browser is the software application used to locate, retrieve, and display content on the World Wide Web. It is used for information retrieval as well. There are also browsers used to access the web via tablets or smartphones. Mobile browsers are typically simpler version of web browsers and offer fewer features to run well on the mobile device. What is search engine? A search engine is a computer program that searches databases and internet sites for the documents containing keywords specified by the users. Google is considered the most popular search engine today. Thank you and God bless you.